I mean, you know, each page can open independently. So like if you had something there for people to read, or you had pictures and stuff like that. So we have this sort of structure like this. It's very sculptural all the way around. Love it. Hey y'all, welcome. Happy Saturday, YouTube. How you guys doing? Welcome back to my studio. I'm Robin McClendon. I'm a mixed media artist. I do mono printing on the GELLI plate. I create books, book artist, and of course we love collage and we love mark making papers and all that kind of stuff. So today is our monthly folded book project, and I have a good one for you. It's another sort of pop-out style that I think is fun. You guys really like that one. I've got a few really cool ones coming up. I think, you know, we're just exploring all the ways we can fold a book. The whole goal is to fold and glue, no sewing. That's going to be our goal for the year, just as a challenge. It doesn't mean that you can't sew signatures in, but it just means that's what our goal is. And we're doing this so we can use up all of our amazing prints, for which, you know, we love our gel prints and we have them everywhere. I did these on the black steak paper using metallics. I love metallics on the steak paper. And then of course my scripting on top. So this is going to be the foundation for my prints. So let me tell you what you're going to need. You're already going to have the papers, so no stress in there. You want to find enough gel prints to be able to do a 6-inch square that we're going to end up cutting out. But we need 6-inch squares. So out of this paper, I'll be able to get 2 6-inch squares per sheet. And I want to have 8 of these sections. So that means I'm going to have 4 sheets for my pages, and then I want to have boards. So we're going to cover our boards so that we can have the covers for our books, and we're going to cover those with our papers as well. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get some of my papers. So let me figure out which ones I want to use. So I'm going to use this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's hard to say what I want through those 4. Okay, so these were just extras anyhow. So I'm gonna do these first just to see where just to kind of see what I have left over, and then I'm gonna have to pull another sheet to do the covers. But I want to focus on, let me just first, I know that this sheet is 9 inches by 12. So if you have steak paper, pull it out and print on it. Maybe you've already printed on it. So I'm going to do this somewhat in the center because I want to just get the center of these pages. Just to kind of get the middle area where most of my scripting is. So I'll get my pencil here. 6. So what I want to do is, let me get my larger cutting mat. It's going to make it so much easier. Okay, the magic of video. So let's go ahead and So much easier just to line this up. So that's there. But now I need my X-Acto. I'm so excited to get started on this project. I didn't come to the table with all my things, like my X-Acto. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut this. So much easier when we use our cutting mat. Now here, I'm a believer, you just score through your papers. You never try to just bear down and go all the way through. It's better just to lightly score it a few times than to bear down and end up cutting a finger. Not a good thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have done that before. In all of my years of bookmaking, I had one pretty bad slice that taught me from that point moving forward. Now, what I'm ready to do, you normally don't do. You normally don't cut into what you don't want to get messed up. But this is sharp, and I'm going very easily. And there's not, it's not very thick. But I am angling towards the metal ruler. If you angle that way, you have a less likely chance for it to kind of go that way. Okay, so we have those. Okay, and now what we want is to get the 6, because this is like exactly 12, so just cut them in half. Cut it in half, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this is the halfway mark. So these are going to be 6 by 6. Now you can make these bigger, but I thought I would start with a size that allowed you to be able to use like standard copier paper or your gel prints you already had, so you don't have to necessarily go and make new ones. So this allows that to be the case, and then once you get this book design down, then you can make them much bigger. Now, what I need to is select a cover now. Put that over there. Let's go ahead, and then that way when we go to put this together, this is going to be the size cover, because when we take and fold this 6 by 6 down, we'll end up with something that's going to be this size. Okay? So that means our covers are like 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. I mean 3 and not a quarter, I'm sorry. It's a 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. So let's find another piece here. So I'm going to make this the cover of the book. So I'm just going to, I'll be able to get 2 of them on here with enough to wrap around. And I'll tell you what this dimension is once I figure it out. This is kind of how I do things. Once I've gotten my dimensions, sort of eyeball everything. So it needs, looks like it needs 1, 2, 3, 4 will do it. That'll give me enough to wrap around. Let's go ahead and cut this. Okay. 4, and then we'll just do this right in half. And then that'll allow me to that'll be plenty. I'll cut it again, but right now we'll just get started with this. Okay. Alrighty. So these are going to be for our covers. All right. So, in fact, let's go ahead and make our covers, because this is going to be so quick that we'll be ready to do our covers, and then we won't want to sit around and wait for. So let's just do the covers first, and then that way they can cure. So I'm just using my glue stick. You can use your glue stick. You can use PVA, whatever. And so put this down, and I'm going to get it so that I have just enough, let's say just about 1/4 of an inch around all sides. That's well, I need a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch actually. Let's do a 1/2 inch, because I want to make sure I have enough to come up over this cardboard. So we're going to do a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. That's perfect. 1/2 inch. So let me just go ahead and trim this now, so we know that. And I'll tell you what for this 6x6, that way you won't have to guess on what the dimensions of the board and the this paper is. I'm visual when it comes to doing books, so I can see things better than. Okay, so it'll go like this, and like that. So this piece is that I'm covering my board with is 4. It's 4 1/4. So it's gonna be 4 1/4. It's actually 4 1/8 by 4 1/8, approximately. Okay, because this one is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. So we added basically 1 inch all the way around. So the cover is going to be about 3 1/8. And the piece of paper that you're going to use to wrap around the cover is going to be about 4. Actually, 4 inches does it. So 4 inches. So 4 inches square. And then this is just a little shy of 3 1/8. So you can round those numbers out any way that works for your piece of paper, but that's approximately what we're doing. So let's go ahead and get this other piece. That way, at least it makes the first one pretty easy. If you keep the large pieces 6x6, your covers 3 1/8, and the cover board, the paper for the cover board, 4 inches to 4 1/8. We're in good shape. So I'm just kind of eyeballing this. Okay. And I like to use my bone folder and start the process of getting a nice crease there while it's drying. Just makes your work neater, and while the paper has moisture in it. Okay, so that's good. And then what we're going to do is you start folding the pieces up, and you kind of want to fold it down and make these sort of dog ears like that. Fold it over, make these dog ears. If you pinch it like that, then you open it back up, and you can sort of see right where it creased. And then I just kind of cut a little triangle off. That just gets rid of some of it. And I kind of stay like maybe I'm about 1/8 away from that edge. And then let's just go ahead and get some more glue. Okay. And this last piece here. Alrighty. So just wrap it around. Like that. And then just fold these little edges in. I just kind of use my fingernails and kind of just do it in like that and then flip it over. You get a pretty neat edge there. Especially on a small board like this, you know, it's kind of pretty straightforward. So then I'll use the bone folder and kind of just take a little bit more off there. Just kind of pull everything over and okay. Alrighty, so that's one cover done. So we'll get to this, do this one, and then we're good. We're ready for the fun folding part. And at least when we're done, we'll be able to glue our cover right on. No waiting. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay. Same thing, kind of pinch it in the middle and then work to the top and to the bottom. And we'll just pinch those little pieces in and then flip this over in the middle, top to bottom. Flip this over, there's a little piece there. Bring that over. And then I just kind of take my fingers and roll these little points in while there's still some glue there, so you don't have like a you know, a very pointy edge. Just kind of use your bone folder and roll it over, flatten it down. Okay, so now we have our covers. Those there. Now let's get to the folding. Okay. So now this is basically what we want to end up with. So we'll end up cutting this one little section out of each of these pieces. So let's start with the first one. So we want to take it, you want to fold it in half. The nice thing about if you pick a piece of color paper or a paper that you've, even if you have some gel prints that you've already created, because you know, let's use up ones we've already done. That's the whole point of all of this. Then what you want to do is maybe if the papers are white on the back, go ahead and tea stain them or coffee stain them, so that when you do see some, in this case mine are going to be black, so I'm going to see the black edge popping up, which you'll see shortly how that's going to look. At least you'll have like tea or coffee stained on the back, you know, and that looks good too. So I need to actually fold these. I'm gonna fold them with the back side, because when we open it up, I want to be able, this is going to be my inside. So first thing you want to do is I want to cut to the middle, right on that fold, the first fold we created, and then about 1/4 inch in, I'm going to do that. Once we've done that, I'm going to show you this over and over again. Once we've done that, I want to get this one piece folded. Now, I figured out an easy way of doing that. Yeah. So Let me just make sure I'm getting this right. So okay, so what we want to do is take, we're going to do it the same way the whole time. So that way we don't get confused. So this is our flap we have there. This is the piece that we want to have a fold in. And you'll see why in just a minute. So what I want to do is I'm just going to take and fold this over. So what I'm doing is I just want a crease here. I don't want one here. I don't want one here. And now that this has been cut off, I won't have one there, right? So basically I'm just folding it up and making a triangle. So you can use all of your right angles on these two pieces and the bottom part of this to create that fold. So then that way it's going to look like this. Now I'm going to be doing this over and over again, so don't you worry. Then what we're going to do, I'm going to just show you all the way through once, so at least you can sort of see. Then we're just going to put some glue on this flap right here, because we're making sort of like a folded page. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it as it is. We're going to take that right back how we had it when we made this crease, and we're just going to fold this over. And glue it. And so then what we have is that we're going to have this piece folds in, and that's our first page. And these get added together, so when we open it, we're going to have this kind of piece that flips out like that. Now there's so much you can do with this. This is such an animated structure. Like you could put words on here that will fold up. So when you open it, it's like little pieces of words that pop up, or, you know, you could put all kinds of things in these little spaces, but that's the basic thing we're going for. So now we're going to do that 7 more times so that it's clear. So I'm folding it so that the black side is up. So we're doing it in half. Do it in half again. Just try to get your right angles best you can. I'm going to open it up. If I can get it open. Just going to see which sides I want to put together. It's all so cool. Okay. Which ones I want to cut out. So this, I'm going to cut here. And then we're going to cut here. Okay. So we have that. And then we're going to take, and we're just wrapping this. We're just disregarding that. We're going to wrap this up to the top corner and line those 2 right angles up. And then with that, we'll put our fold in, and then we have that diagonal. From there, we get a little glue. Flip it over. Open it up. Invert that fold. And there we have it. That's our next one. Our next page. Just try to get everything square. Put that there. On to the next one. Just do this over and over again. Sometimes I think it doesn't hurt. Like I could skip forward, but honestly, I think it doesn't hurt to see it over and over again. Repetition is everything. So I'm going to fold them all. Now that we've done a couple, let's get a little bit of some assembly line going. So fold that one. I'm going to fold them all, then I'm going to cut them all, and then we're going to fold and glue them all. It's going to make a really cool book. This is a fun structure, and it's a very sophisticated structure too, without having to, like, you know, like it's like the some of the other ones where they look like you got more going on than you do. And like I said, I've done these on large sheets of paper so that the book can be like a 8x8 or a 10x10, you know, like you can really, there's no limit, honestly, to the size of this structure. And hopefully that this folded book series is adding to your repertoire of structures, so you're just not doing the same kind of ones over and over again that you kind of see all the time, and adds a little bit more, and also you know, expands, you know, your vocabulary of the kind of structures that you can make. And it also allows for you to use up all of our jelly prints in some really, really interesting ways. And like, all this stuff makes great gifts, you know. This one can be done as just maybe two, or like a 2-panel or 3 of them together, and it could be done as a card, you know, as a birthday card or holiday card or get well or whatever. It's just an easy structure. And what you would do is, before you would glue it all together, if you wanted to write something on the, you know, and whatever you wanted to do, if you wanted to put some words on here, you would do it when it's in this state, so that when you glue it all together, it's done. Like, you don't have to try to then put it in here. Like, that would be work. So yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and here. About 1/4 of an inch. Flip this up. Get that right angle at the top. Glue. Assembly line here. And make sure I stay on camera here. We'll fold this, invert the fold. It's best to try to get it at that corner so we get a right angle. We invert it. Okay. Okay. Put there. Same thing. Cut all the way to the center, and then cut 1/4 of an inch. Then take this edge, bring it up to the top, a right angle. So we have a square, and then we have a triangle created with that one piece, right? So we're literally folding it up, creating that triangle. Some glue. Let me see if I reverse it before I glue it, if that makes that folding a little easier. I don't know if it's going to. Let's just see. So I reversed it before. I guess it's about the same. I just wanted to see if it was going to be any easier, but whatever way you get it done. flatten it, get that little point in there, and then flatten it down. Okay. A few more. Let's cut this. I'm just going for the section that to me has the least amount going on, so I don't feel like I lose so much of my scripting. So if you're wondering, so you can kind of pick yours based on, you know, what you have left there that you like. Totally personal choice. Okay, so open it up, flatten it out, get to this peak there, you see? And then I'm just really just inverting the fold like origami style and just bring it down. And then we have a nice right angle, and that seems to close and reverse that fold nicely. I haven't made this book for a while, so it's kind of a fun structure to remind myself of how to do. Okay. I like the fact that there's still some of the, it was still some gold leafing on my plate. I love that little sprinkling of gold leafing on there. That technique is so good. So good. Flip it up. Almost done. Okay. Open it up. Flatten it out. Get your finger right into that point like that, and then it lays right down. Main thing with this kind of thing is just try to be mindful of your right angles. If you keep your right angles going, then everything else stays pretty square, you know, not too wonky. Love, love, love these. These are the Arteza metallics on this black paper. I wanted to use up some of my Artezas like time to. Some of them were starting to dry up, and I'm like, okay, let's get rid of some paints. But any of your metallics on the darker papers is just so, so good. It's just a whole nother look. But that's what I use. I use the Artezas in the in the iridescent series. Many of you may already have some of these, but any iridescent, you don't have to get the Arteza. Any metallic paint is just amazing on a black paper or a dark paper. Let's do this. Okay. So you got a little overhang here. If you end up with a little bit of an overhang, just trim it off. Okay. And the last one. Okay. I feel like there's something we can do with all of these. Well, collage. These are nice squares. I'll do something with those. I'm not gonna throw them away, of course. Okay. Okay. Last one. Alrighty. Put this up over here. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Now what's left is we want to, now we glue these together. Let's grab them all. I won't spend a lot of time making decisions because that's nerve-wracking. But you can open them up like this. Kind of see where you want to put things. Just kind of like looking at the colors and deciding where I kind of want things. Since I have a lot of gold and then I have this color, I'm just kind of like, in a way, doing an every other. Like some color gold is kind of how it works out. That there. Okay. So that's what they're going to look like. So let's get the first one. This is going to be the beginning. Just go ahead and use your glue stick. Get that one side, and then this is the next side. So it's going to lay right down on top of it. So if you lay them out like I just did and you get your order, then we can go from there, and you'll make sure that they're, that way you can make sure everything is in the right order. So when you open it up, our little flaps are going to be at the bottom like that. Okay, so we want it to look like that. So that was the gold one. That's the first one. This is the second one. So we're going to keep the order together so we don't get confused, or I don't get confused. Okay, so this is the bottom. That's the bottom. So I'm going to put that side down. And just pay attention to your right angles, like I said. That'll help get everything nice and square. Yep. And grab this one. Lay it down. So that gives us 8 pages. You can think of these as, of course, pages. They also kind of remind me of like little individual sort of rooms, because they are enclosed. It's a geometric cube, so it's kind of fun to think about them as individual spaces that you may be putting, so it could be one continuous flow, if you're putting poetry or something in them, imagery, sort of like, what are those things called? What was it they were called? Something aramas. Were they dioramas or something like that? That you could look at through one of those viewers, you know, and in a different space popped up. It kind of reminds me of that in a way. It's looking good. So we can just check everything is coming along. So far, so good. Oh, this is good. I was going to say, hold up, where's my first one? It's right here, kind of stuck together. There we are. Okay. Let's put this one down. 2 more to go. And then we put our covers on. Aren't you glad the covers are done? Because now we'd be stopping and putting the covers on. It's kind of anticlimactic. We want to see the whole book together now once we've gotten this much. It's nice to get the covers done ahead of time. But you could do this with junk journaling, papers, and photographs. This would be really cool to put photographs in here for family. Like I said, if you wanted to do a card, or it's the graduation time of the year, how cool would it give this to a graduating senior? maybe one picture for every year. Up to 12th grade, or I mean, you know, like there's so much you could do with these things. So much fun. And it's something a person would keep forever. That'd be a card that no one would get rid of because they're like, oh, this is so special. Okay, so there we are, all glued together. So now, like, this is going to be my front cover. This is my front pages of the book. This is my front cover. Put it on like that. I kind of like it like that. So let's go ahead and get some glue. This Pritt glue stick is really strong glue. I like it. Okay. So this is that's the top. Just want to remember. So put this down. It's just going to be a little bit of an overhang, which is cool. Just a little bit top to bottom. So our board is just a little bit bigger. So you kind of, you know, so you have that little overhang. You guys know how that works. And let's do this one. So that's the top. This is going to be to do it like this. Okay, so this is going to go like that. Okay. So yeah, another folded kind of origami style structure using our gel prints and a little bit of glue. Let that sit for just a second and then we'll open it up. Okay, so here we are. We're back with our book. Look how cute she is. And you can see how I'll put it down here. So each of these, I mean, you know, each page can open independently. So like if you had something there for people to read or you had pictures and stuff like that, each page will open independently of the other pages. You know how much we love that. You can put fabric in these as well. I mean, there's just, the sky's the limit. So we can have it like that. And then of course, once again, we have it as almost like a large pinwheel with each of the individual spaces. Like this. I don't know, you probably can't see it that well, but I'll do it like this. So we have this sort of structure like this. It's very sculptural all the way around. Love it. And even the bottom of it, it's just like this really cool kind of pinwheel structure. So everything about it is very sculptural. So having the black, or even if you did the coffee or tea stain, you see the value of that because it adds a bit of contrast. Sort of like, so you can sort of see all the way around. And we just have this really cool structure, and it's all folded and glue, and it's very easy. And these you can just make. You saw how we sat down and just do it, you know, assembly style. And you can make a number of these. But I love this free edge as well. I just think that the way it opens, sort of this free edge type of structure where we're seeing the folds, I just love it. So I hope you guys enjoy this book as much as I have enjoyed making it and showing you it. And next month I have another one ready to go. So I think the edges, that you can see the spine is a really traditional looking spine. It's very nice, very neat, but very tight. You don't have to worry about this going anywhere. And yeah, so there we have it. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful week coming up. Great time in your studio. Please, if you enjoyed the video, thumb it up. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell for all. You get the notifications, and you know, we'll be able to, you'll be able to hang out with us in the premiere, you know, not miss our videos. And yeah, let other people know about it too. Please share. And until next week, we're going to be back to chapter 13, I think we are in the book. So we'll be back in our journals doing the next technique, and we'll catch up as well with some of the previous techniques. I'm going to put them in the book. So yeah, we've got a lot in front of us. But until then, happy creating. Alrighty, bye-bye.